Welcome everyone, those with a scientific background and those who do not. Welcome to Science Every Day, where we'll be talking about different scientific matters that we encounter each and every day. This does not need you to be a scientist to come across it. For today, we will be talking about antibiotics and antibiotic resistance. And what are antibiotics? Antibiotics are medications that we are given to combat bacterial infections. You could have a chest infection, a wound infection. You go to the doctor, they write you a prescription of antibiotics. So this has been helping for so many years. But there's a problem that is emerging that has been termed antibiotic resistance. So let's get into it and know exactly what we'll be talking about. So imagine you get a bacterial infection, maybe a chest infection or a wound infection, as I alluded earlier. You go to the doctor, you're given your antibiotics, you take the antibiotics, and a few days later you feel better. So for many years, antibiotics have been one of the most powerful medicines in modern healthcare. But today, something worrying is happening. Some bacteria are becoming stronger than the medicines designed to kill them. This problem is what is called antibiotic resistance. What is antibiotic resistance? Antibiotics are medicines, and their duty is to kill bacteria. They work by attacking important parts of the bacterial cell so that the bacteria cannot survive. But now, bacteria are living organisms, and like all other living organisms, they adapt and they change over time. Sometimes a few bacteria survive the antibiotic treatment, and these surviving bacteria are stronger and resistant. They multiply and spread. And over time, the antibiotic that once worked against this bacteria can no longer kill the bacteria. And there's one known bacteria that is giving so much trouble in the healthcare industry, which is known as Methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus, often called a superbug, because it is very difficult to treat. So let's talk about why this is happening. So there are several reasons why antibiotic resistance is increasing, and it's very difficult to deal with it. So firstly, antibiotics are sometimes used when they are not needed. You get a flu, you get a cold, and what's the answer to that? Antibiotics. And come to think of it, flu is not caused by bacteria, but by viruses. And what does that mean? If you take your antibiotics for flu, you're taking the antibiotics where they are not needed. Secondly, people sometimes stop taking antibiotics too early. Once they start feeling better, you are given a course for 2 weeks, you have a bacterial infection, and then you're given a course for 2 weeks. 1 week into the course, you feel better and you feel like you're stronger. You don't need the medication anymore. Once you do that, you are allowing the bacteria to survive. And whatever that will survive is one of the strongest of that strain. And thirdly, antibiotics are also used widely in farm animals, which can also contribute to resistant bacteria entering the food chain. And when this happens, bacteria are given more opportunities to adapt and become stronger. So why are we even talking about this matter in the first place? So if this problem of antibiotic resistance continues, Many infections that were so easy to treat years back will be difficult to treat, and that will be a dangerous thing to our lives and our health as well. Routine surgeries, childbirth, and even small infections could become very risky and life-threatening. Doctors around the world are already seeing infections that are very difficult to treat because of this issue of antibiotic resistance. So what can you and I do to help the healthcare sector in this trouble, in this problem, in this era of antibiotic resistance? So there's good news, my dear. The good news is that everyone can help slow down antibiotic resistance. So how can you do this? Only make sure that whatever antibiotic that you're taking, it has been prescribed specifically for you by a doctor. And make sure that whatever course that you're given, whatever length, if it's 1 month, if it's 2 weeks, if it's a week, you finish your full course. And please, even if your relative is suffering from the same infection that you have, do not share antibiotics, because that would mean that you will not be able to finish your course. And that would also mean that your relative has not been seen by a doctor and they have not been prescribed anything specifically for them. So these small actions that we will do one person at a time will actually help protect the power of antibiotics for the future, because antibiotics are one of the greatest discoveries in medicines that has ever been, and we need to make sure they continue to work even for future generations to come. As much as there is research to discover more medicines, let's make sure that we take care of the ones that are there, that have been proven to work. So that's it from me. This is Science Every Day. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Bye.